For decades, we've been told the same thing. If you want strong bones, you need milk. But what if that story is incomplete? What if some of the richest sources of calcium aren't found in the dairy aisle at all, but in ordinary plant foods that most people walk past every day? Here's something even more surprising. Some of these foods don't just contain calcium. They come packaged with other nutrients that help your body use that calcium more effectively. And one of the foods on today's list contains so much calcium that it may completely change the way you think about bone health. In fact, number 3 has been nourishing people for centuries and contains far more calcium than most people realize. And the number 1 food? Millions of people eat it regularly without knowing it can rival or even surpass milk when it comes to calcium. If you've ever worried about your bones, your teeth, healthy aging, muscle strength, or simply getting the nutrients your body needs, this video might open your eyes to a side of nutrition that rarely gets the attention it deserves. Today we're counting down 7 plant foods that have more calcium than milk, backed by history, science, and practical ways to use them in your everyday life. And if you're someone who wants to age stronger, feel better, and discover simple foods that support long-term health naturally, make sure to subscribe and join our community. Every week we uncover powerful foods, forgotten wisdom, and science-backed habits that can help you take better care of your body. Now let's begin with a humble green herb that most people treat as nothing more than a garnish. Number 1. Parsley, the herb hiding in plain sight. Most people see parsley as decoration, a few green leaves sprinkled on top of a meal, something added for color, something pushed aside without a second thought. But what if one of the most overlooked foods in your kitchen has been quietly providing one of the most important minerals your body needs? Parsley is surprisingly rich in calcium, especially when compared gram for gram with many foods people normally associate with bone health. Yet for generations, it has lived in the shadows of more famous ingredients. That's a shame, because this humble herb offers far more than a fresh taste. Long before modern nutrition labels existed, parsley was valued throughout the Mediterranean and parts of the Middle East. Ancient Greeks associated it with vitality and strength. Traditional herbal practices often used it as more than a culinary ingredient. People recognized that it seemed to support overall wellness, even if they didn't yet understand the science behind it. Today, researchers know that parsley contains not only calcium, but also vitamin K, a nutrient that plays a critical role in directing calcium to the bones where it belongs. It also contains antioxidants that help protect cells from oxidative stress, something increasingly linked to healthy aging. Think of calcium as the bricks used to build a house. Vitamin K helps tell those bricks where to go. Without the right supporting nutrients, getting calcium alone isn't always enough. That's one reason nutrient-dense plant foods can be so valuable. Another advantage of parsley is how easy it is to use. You don't need a complicated recipe. Add generous handfuls to salads, blend it into green smoothies, stir it into soups, mix it into grain bowls. Use it as the base of a fresh herb sauce. The more it becomes a regular part of your meals, the more those nutrients quietly add up over time. And that's the real lesson here. Health is rarely built through dramatic changes. More often, it's created through small choices repeated consistently. Parsley reminds us that sometimes the foods with the greatest value aren't the ones receiving the most attention. Sometimes they're the ones sitting right in front of us, waiting to be noticed. Because sometimes the foods that heal us are the ones we've learned to ignore. And if parsley surprised you, wait until you see the next plant on our list. It's a staple in many Asian kitchens, incredibly gentle in flavor, and its calcium may be even easier for your body to absorb than you think. Number 2, bok choy. The gentle green that protects your bones. Bok choy doesn't usually make headlines. It's not marketed as a superfood. It doesn't appear in flashy advertisements promising miracle results. Yet this crisp, leafy vegetable may be one of the most underrated foods for bone health in the entire produce section. At first glance, bok choy looks like just another green vegetable, but beneath its delicate leaves is a nutritional profile that has impressed both nutrition researchers and health professionals for years. For centuries, bok choy has been a staple in Chinese cuisine. Generations of families have used it in soups, stir-fries, and simple home-cooked meals. Long before anyone talked about nutrient density, cultures throughout Asia were regularly eating foods like this as part of everyday life. What makes bok choy especially interesting is not just its calcium content, but how well the body can use it. Many plant foods contain compounds called oxalates, which can bind to calcium and reduce absorption. Bok choy is naturally low in oxalates, meaning a larger percentage of its calcium remains available for your body to absorb and use. That's one reason researchers often point to it as one of the most efficient plant sources of calcium. But the story doesn't stop there. Bok choy also provides vitamin C, magnesium, potassium, and a variety of protective plant compounds. These nutrients work together to support healthy bones, proper muscle function, nerve signaling, and overall vitality. Imagine your skeleton as the foundation of a house. Calcium provides strength, but magnesium, potassium, and other minerals help maintain the structure over time. Healthy bones aren't built from a single nutrient. They're built from a team effort. The best part is that bok choy is incredibly versatile. You can sauté it with garlic and olive oil, add it to soups, toss it into stir-fries, steam it as a side dish. Even a simple preparation allows its mild flavor to blend beautifully with countless meals. And unlike complicated health trends that come and go, this is real food. Food that has nourished people for generations. Food that doesn't need a marketing campaign to prove its value. That's why bok choy offers such an important reminder. Strength doesn't always come from heavy foods. Sometimes it comes from light, leafy ones. And if you think these first two foods are surprising, the next one takes the story to an entirely different level. It was treasured by an ancient civilization, nearly forgotten by the modern world, and contains far more calcium than most people would ever expect. Number 3. Amaranth leaves, the ancient superfood most people forgot. Thousands of years ago, long before nutrition apps, supplement aisles, or health influencers existed, entire civilizations relied on a remarkable plant that most people today have never even tasted. That plant is amaranth. While many people recognize amaranth as an ancient grain, far fewer know about its leaves, and that's where one of the biggest nutritional surprises on this list is hiding. Amaranth leaves are exceptionally rich in calcium, along with an impressive collection of other minerals that support the body from head to toe. Yet despite their nutritional value, they remain largely unknown in many Western diets. The story of amaranth stretches back to the Aztec civilization, where it was considered one of the most important crops. It helped sustain entire communities and was valued for its ability to provide dependable nourishment generation after generation. Today, modern science helps explain why ancient cultures respected it so much. Amaranth leaves contain significant amounts of calcium, but they also provide iron, magnesium, potassium, fiber, and protective plant compounds. Instead of delivering a single nutrient, they offer a broader spectrum of nutritional support. This matters because bones are living tissue. They're constantly breaking down and rebuilding themselves. That process requires more than calcium alone. Minerals such as magnesium contribute to bone formation, while other nutrients support muscle function and overall wellness. Think of it like building a cathedral. Calcium may be the stone, but many other materials are needed to create something that stands strong over time. Nature rarely works with isolated ingredients. It works through partnerships. One reason amaranth leaves remain underrated is simple familiarity. Most people tend to choose foods they've known all their lives, while highly nutritious traditional foods are often overlooked. The good news is that amaranth leaves are easy to use. They can be cooked much like spinach. Add them to soups, stews, curries, sautéed vegetable dishes, or grain bowls. Their mild, earthy flavor blends naturally into many meals. And perhaps that's what makes amaranth so fascinating. It reminds us that innovation isn't always about discovering something new. Sometimes it's about rediscovering something ancient. Some foods survive centuries because they're convenient. Others survive because they truly nourish the people who eat them. Amaranth belongs in the second category. Some ancient foods survive for centuries because they truly worked. And if you think that's impressive, the next food on our list delivers calcium in a completely different form. It's rich, creamy, deeply satisfying, and has been treasured across the Middle East for thousands of years. Number 4. Tahini, the creamy calcium treasure. Imagine a food so rich and creamy that most people think of it as comfort food. Yet hidden inside every spoonful is a remarkable concentration of minerals that can help support your bones for years to come. That's exactly what tahini is. Made from ground sesame seeds, tahini has been a cornerstone of Middle Eastern cuisine for thousands of years. It's the ingredient behind hummus, countless traditional sauces, and many of the dishes that have nourished entire cultures for generations. But while people often praise its flavor, few realize how nutritionally powerful it really is. Sesame seeds are naturally packed with calcium, and when they're transformed into tahini, that mineral richness becomes concentrated into a smooth, versatile paste that can easily fit into everyday meals. What's especially fascinating is that tahini doesn't deliver calcium alone. It also contains magnesium, copper, phosphorus, and other trace minerals that play important roles in maintaining healthy bones. Scientists increasingly understand that bone health depends on a network of nutrients working together rather than a single mineral acting in isolation. Think about an orchestra. Even the most talented violinist cannot create a symphony alone. Every instrument contributes something essential. In the same way, calcium works best when supported by a broader nutritional team. Tahini also contains healthy fats that help make meals more satisfying and nourishing. Instead of viewing nutrition as a collection of isolated numbers on a label, foods like tahini remind us that nature packages nutrients together for a reason. And unlike many health foods that require major lifestyle changes, tahini is incredibly easy to incorporate into your routine. You can drizzle it over roasted vegetables, blend it into salad dressings, spread it on whole grain toast, stir it into smoothies, use it as a dip, mix it into sauces. Even a small amount can add flavor, texture, and nutritional value to a meal. What makes tahini particularly interesting is the contrast it represents. Many people spend years searching for expensive supplements while overlooking foods that have quietly nourished entire civilizations. Meanwhile, a simple jar sitting on a grocery store shelf may contain more nutritional wisdom than they realize. This is the kind of food that challenges modern assumptions, not because it's trendy, not because it's new, but because it's ancient. And sometimes the oldest foods are the ones with the most to teach us. Every spoonful carries thousands of years of nutritional wisdom. But now we're entering the part of the list where things become truly extraordinary. Because the next plant isn't just rich in calcium. In many parts of the world, it's been called a miracle tree, a survival food, and one of the most nutrient-dense plants ever studied. And once you see why, you'll understand why so many people are adding it to their daily routine. Number 5. Moringa leaves, the tree that nourishes almost everything. If there were a competition for the most nutrient-dense plant on Earth, moringa would be one of the strongest contenders. For centuries, communities across Asia, Africa, and parts of the Middle East have relied on this remarkable tree for food, wellness, and survival. In some regions, it became known as the tree of life, because nearly every part of it could be used in some way. Yet, despite its extraordinary reputation, many people have never heard of it. Moringa leaves contain an impressive amount of calcium, often far exceeding what people expect from a leafy plant. But what makes moringa truly special is that calcium is only one chapter of a much larger story. These leaves are packed with antioxidants, plant compounds, vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that support multiple systems throughout the body. Instead of focusing on a single benefit, moringa appears to contribute to overall resilience and vitality. Scientists have studied moringa for its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, which may help protect cells from everyday stress. While no food is a magic solution, nutrient-rich plants like moringa can help create an internal environment that supports long-term health. Think of your body as a city. Your bones are the buildings, your muscles are the transportation network. Your immune system is the security team, your circulation system is the road infrastructure. A truly valuable food doesn't support only one part of the city. It helps strengthen the entire system. That's one reason moringa continues to attract attention from nutrition researchers around the world. And despite sounding exotic, it's surprisingly easy to use. Moringa powder can be added to smoothies, soups, oatmeal, yogurt alternatives, and even herbal drinks. Some people enjoy it as a tea. Others mix it into recipes where its earthy flavor blends naturally with other ingredients. The key is consistency. One meal won't change your health overnight, but small habits repeated week after week can produce remarkable results over time. What's especially inspiring about moringa is that it reflects a lesson found throughout nature. The most powerful foods often don't arrive with flashy packaging or billion-dollar advertising campaigns. They grow quietly, they serve communities for generations, and they prove their value through results rather than hype. Moringa is one of those foods. Some plants don't just feed the body, they seem designed to protect it. And if you think we've already reached the most surprising part of this list, think again. Because the next food is sweet. Naturally sweet. Many people think of it as a treat rather than a health food. Yet hidden inside this ancient fruit is a combination of calcium, fiber, and minerals that may make you see dessert in a completely different way. Number 6. Dried figs, the sweet bone-building fruit. When most people think about calcium, they picture milk, yogurt, or leafy greens. Very few picture a sweet, chewy fruit, and that's exactly why dried figs deserve a place on this list. For thousands of years, figs have been treasured across the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and parts of Asia. Ancient civilizations cultivated them long before modern agriculture existed. They appeared in royal feasts, sacred traditions, and everyday meals alike. But beyond their rich history lies something even more impressive. A surprisingly high concentration of calcium. As fresh figs are dried, their nutrients become more concentrated. The result is a naturally sweet food that delivers not only calcium, but also fiber, potassium, and a variety of beneficial plant compounds. This combination is especially interesting because bone health and overall wellness are more connected than many people realize. Potassium helps support muscle and nerve function. Fiber contributes to digestive health and helps nourish beneficial gut bacteria. Calcium supports the maintenance of strong bones and teeth. Instead of offering one isolated benefit, dried figs contribute to several systems at once. Imagine trying to maintain a beautiful garden. Strong plants need more than water. They need healthy soil, sunlight, nutrients, and consistent care. Your body works much the same way. The best foods help create the conditions for long-term health rather than focusing on only one outcome. Another reason dried figs stand out is their simplicity. There's no complicated preparation required. You can enjoy them as a snack, slice them into oatmeal, add them to trail mixes, combine them with nuts, chop them into salads, or use them to naturally sweeten a meal. And unlike many processed snacks that satisfy cravings while offering little nutritional value, dried figs bring something meaningful to the table. They remind us that sweetness and nourishment do not have to be opposites. Nature often combines pleasure with nutrition in ways modern food manufacturing rarely does. Perhaps that's one reason figs have survived for thousands of years, while countless other foods have disappeared. People continued eating them because they tasted good. But generation after generation also benefited from the nutrients hidden inside them. Nature often hides its strongest medicine inside sweetness. And now we've arrived at the final food on our list, the one that surprises more people than any other. Millions of people eat it every week for protein, yet very few realize it may be one of the richest plant-based calcium foods available. And once you understand why, you may never look at it the same way again. Number 7. Calcium-set firm tofu, the bone-building protein powerhouse. What makes this list so remarkable isn't just that these foods contain calcium. It's that they completely challenge a belief many of us have carried for most of our lives. We've been taught to think about calcium as if it belongs to a single food group, as if strong bones come from one source, one product, one solution. But nature tells a different story. Across continents, across centuries, and across cultures, people have built strong bodies using a wide variety of foods. Long before modern marketing existed, communities were nourishing themselves with herbs, leafy greens, seeds, fruits, and traditional staples that quietly delivered the minerals their bodies needed. The deeper lesson isn't that milk is bad. The deeper lesson is that nutrition is bigger than we were led to believe. When you look at parsley, bok choy, amaranth leaves, tahini, moringa, dried figs, and calcium-set tofu, you begin to see a pattern. Nature rarely puts all of its power in one place. Instead, it spreads nourishment across an incredible diversity of foods, flavors, colors, and traditions. And that's good news, because it means you have options. It means that every trip to the grocery store becomes an opportunity to strengthen your body in new ways. It means that better health doesn't require perfection. It requires awareness. The most powerful realization may be this: many of these foods have been around your entire life. They weren't hidden. They weren't secret. They weren't reserved for a select group of people. You simply weren't taught to see them this way. And sometimes that single shift in perspective can change everything. So now we'd love to hear from you. Which of these foods surprised you the most? Was it parsley, the ancient power of amaranth, the incredible nutrition of moringa? Or were you shocked to learn that calcium-set tofu can rival or even surpass milk when it comes to calcium? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found value in this video, take a moment to give it a like. It helps more people discover information that could genuinely improve their health and well-being. If you're passionate about healthy aging, natural nutrition, longevity, and science-backed wellness, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Remember, stronger bones aren't built in a day. They're built meal by meal, choice by choice, habit by habit. And often, the biggest improvements begin with the smallest changes. This week, try adding just one food from this list to your routine. 1 handful of parsley, 1 serving of bok choy, a spoonful of tahini, a few dried figs, a simple tofu dish. Small steps may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, they create extraordinary results. Because sometimes better health doesn't come from finding something new. It comes from seeing familiar foods with new eyes, and that simple shift can change the way you nourish your body for the rest of your life. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.